Hi guys, so today I'm going to be making a bag out of old pairs of jeans that I've been collecting. All these jeans are from middle school and early high school. I can't really fit them anymore. And I did give a lot of them away, but then I kept some because I saw, those jean bags you've been seeing, you see in stores? I really wanted one, but every single time I saw one, they costed just a little pretty penny. So I just decided to, when I was going through my closet one day and trying on jeans, seeing if I could fit them or not, I decided I was going to take my old pairs of jeans that I could no longer fit and turn them into that bag, which the one thing I like about this is it means that I can kind of customize the bag to hold and do whatever I want. So let me show you the jeans I got. Here is the selections. Please don't look at the floor if it's dirty. I'm gonna vacuum it. I just decided to wait since I was gonna be making a mess with these jeans. But as over here we have like my two darker pairs. In the middle are my two lighter, and then we have my medium pair over here. So I'm going to cut all of these into squares off camera. I'll put the measurements somewhere on screen either now or later in the video. Because I haven't even figured out what measurements I want yet at this point. But yeah, we're going to be making an off-the-shoulder bag, not a backpack, like, you know what I'm saying, like one of those sling bags. We're going to be making it square-shaped, but yeah, let's get started. Okay, so it's like an hour and a half later, and I have all my squares cut. Here's the scrap pile. There's the rest of the jeans. I'm probably later going to take the pockets off some of the jeans and sew pockets into my bag, but we're not onto that yet. First thing we're going to do is, with our squares, I'll probably have the measurements on the screen. I was going to do different sizes, but I found that I kind of liked this general size that we got going on here. But now, with my sewing machine, I'm going to, you see I got the medium, the dark, and the light. So I'm going to rearrange in different arrangements, medium, dark, and light. Sometimes I'll do it like this. Sometimes I might do it like this. And sometimes like this. And then when I come to sewing the bag together, I'll do different variations of like that, and then that, and then possibly like that. Like, you get what I'm saying? It'll probably make more sense once I actually start sewing together. But the first thing I'm going to do is start sewing 3 squares together each, because I think this is how big I want the bag to be from bottom to top, which is pretty decent. It's literally from my fingertips to my elbow crease. That's a weird measurement, but like it's a pretty decent size. It's gonna be a pretty decent sized bag. So I'm gonna start with sewing 3 squares like this. Yeah, and then I'll come back. So here are the 3 panels sewed together. As you can see, I was doing the mix matching. I forget how to say it, but I think I'm going to only make it 4 panels long, because as you can see, this is a pretty decent sized bag. If I go any further, it's gonna be like a big oversized bag, and I do like big bags, which is why I'm going with the 4. 3 would be more standard, and 3 is still pretty big, but 3 would be more standard, but I'm going with 4. So here is the 4 panels. I already have one sewed for the other side because I didn't like how it looked on this side. So I'm going to sew 3 more of these, and then I'm going to sew all of them each side together, and then I'm going to work on the bottom, the sides, and the strap. And then, I'm going to work, once I have this sewed together and all the other stuff sewed together, I'm going to take the measurements so I can make the inner lining of the bag. So now I've moved on to making the bottom of the bag and the strap, and with this bag, since I'm just sewing squares together, I decided to kind of make it one continuous loop. So like it's gonna, don't mind everything in the back, it's gonna be like down and around, one continuous loop around the center of the bag. And now this looks like it's inside out, but I basically am sewing hold on, let me put it down and I'll show you. Okay, so I sewed this one side together, and then I'm going to flip it like this and sew that together just to kind of reinforce the strap. This is the main strap. This is the sides of the bag and the bottom of the bag. The bottom is 4 of these squares and the sides are 3 of these squares, and I got that measurement from, you know, 3 and then 4. So that's why it was folded like this, just so I can remember the 3 and the 4. So yeah, after all this, I'm going to, you know, sew this shut, then sew this to this, and then I'll come back before I sew it to the main part of the bag. So I've sewed together, the strap is down here, and the bottom of the bag. As you can see, they're inside out. Here's the outside of the bag, but I pinned the outside of the bottom and the outside of the bag together, and these are the insides. And you do it like this so that when you flip it, it looks like that. So like I said, the bottom of the bag is 4 squares. So I pinned and tried to line up the 4 squares. And then I'm going to sew this, and then I'll come back when I pin the sides of the bag to the sides of the bag, and I'll show you. Okay, I've sewed the bottom of the bag. It's hard to tell, but here's the sewing. I don't want to quite open it yet because I just pinned the sides. I'll be able to kind of show you. Don't mind my knee. I know it was just in frame. I've been on my knees, so they don't look the best. But I just pinned the sides. I matched up. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Okay, so I just realized that I didn't sew the bottom on correctly. I sewed it on the wrong 4, for lack of a better term, tiles. So I have to undo the stitching, re-sew it to the correct squares, and then do the side. But the sewing is still the same. The pinning is still the same for the side. The pinning is still the same. Just on the 3 squares. Make sure it's the right 3 squares. Make sure it's the right 4 squares for the bottom and for the side. If I would have left it, I would have this extra square right here. And then I wouldn't have an extra square on this side. Well, it's not extra, but a square on this side to match up to this side. So I have to undo the bottom, re-sew it, and then I'll sew the sides, and then I'll show you before I sew the other panel onto here. But yeah, just make sure you get it right the first time so you don't have to do any re-sewing like I'm about to do. So I just sewed the inner lining of the bag. This is the outside of it that's going to be touching this side, and here's the inside of it. I sewed it off camera. It's the same dimensions as the regular bag. It has to be, since it, you know, it is the inner lining of the bag. Okay, so I'm changing the original plan. Instead of cutting the pockets out of these, I'm going to just use my extra squares that I have, sew them together, and make them the same exact pockets. So I will show you that when I sew a few of these together to make the pockets. So I sewed all the pockets together, leaving, you know, one open as to make a pocket. And here I've pinned, this is my large pocket on the side of the bag. And I pinned it like this, so it kind of just looks like a hole, and then there's the pocket. That makes sense. Like, see the pinning, and then there's the opening for the pocket. It's really dark, sorry. There, like that. And then I'm going to sew here and here. I'm going to cut slits and sew those pockets the same exact way. And then the next step is to put the bag together. Okay, so it's a few days later, and I'm not sure if I ever showed you guys me attaching the inner lining to the bag, but all I did was match up the what is it called? Not the fuzzy sides, but I matched up the inner sides, like the inner part of this part of the bag and the outer part of this part of the bag, and just sewed them together. And now I have a zipper right here, and I have it pinned so that I can sew it to the bag. And I have it pinned on the outside of this touching the outside of the bag, so that when it's flipped, it has that nice clean look to it. And then, yeah, I'm gonna sew this on, and then the bag will be completely finished. I've actually been using it for a few days, because like I said, it's a few days later, and I've been using it without the zipper, but now that I finally got a zipper, I'm going to put a zipper on the bag. So yeah. So again, sorry, it is a few days later, and I don't remember if I showed you how to attach the second part of the zipper. So what I did was basically I zipped it back up, like I zipped the entire thing back up, and then I put the pins in a way so that both of these sides sewing like this. You sew it like this, not like, and then it'll give you this result right here. But I pinned them so that they lined up perfectly, and then, you know, when you zip it shut, you have this effect right here that looks just clean. And so here is the finished bag. I've been using it for a few days. I actually went to a craft show and bought some pottery, and I was holding the pottery in this bag, and it was a pretty thick, for lack of a better word, vase. So it works. The bag works. And like, unlike my other bag, you do not have to reinforce, is what I call it, the strap, because when you do this double layer of the jeans, that helps to reinforce itself. Like, for example, my other fabric I used wasn't as durable as the jean fabric. So when you just do this, it reinforces it, so you do not have to reinforce it. Like my other one, I had to reinforce by putting an old belt in it to give the strap some stability. This one I didn't have to because of how stable it is by itself. But yeah, here's the finished bag. I'm sorry this video is late. I'm posting it on Monday instead of like last week that I meant to. It's been pretty busy, you know, in college, working up till the break. But now, since I'm on the break, I was able to post this video. But yeah, I hope you like it. I hope it's helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments at any point in time. Doesn't matter if you're seeing this video the day it came out or 3 years after it came out. I do get notified when people comment, so I will probably see it and be able to respond. So yeah, like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more of me. I try to post every week, but like I said, I was busy. But yeah, bye.